A meeting to order. It's now 6:35.
All right.
Roll call, please.
All right. Commissioner Cummings?
Here.
Commissioner Kaiser?
Here.
Commissioner LaRoche?
Here.
Commissioner Parsons? Commissioner Adams?
Here.
Oh, sorry.
Here.
Zoom delay. Commissioner Banks?
Here.
Commissioner Budiszewski?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. First on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the September 9th meeting.
I'd like to move the approval of those meeting minutes.
Do I have a second?
Oh, second.
Commissioner LaRoche. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Guys have it. All right, next is consider a resolution adopting a 2022 EDA budget and the HRA tax levy. And you're going to give us some information?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President and Commissioners. There we go. So, as you know, the HRA tax levy comprises most of the funding for the EDA. The 2021 levy was $300,000, and we are recommending a 2022 levy of $310,000, which is a 3.3% increase. It's important to note that this is far below the maximum HRA levy established in state law. This is the EDA budget summary showing 2019 and 2020 actual, the adopted budget for 2021, and then the proposed budget for 2022. I've also included the cash balances from the long-term plan. The numbers don't necessarily line up exactly with revenues minus expenditures, but over time, the long-term plan is kind of our guiding document for long-term planning. And you can see the EDA fund balance is decreasing slowly, but very slowly. And this is the EDA budget detail sheet. I'm definitely not going to go through all this detail. You've seen this before in previous presentations and budget documents, but it's simply more detail as a companion to the summary sheet we just saw. So for 2022, we're going to continue to pursue redevelopment projects, especially in our town center area. That's our main commercial area around West Broadway and Bass Lake Road. We're going to continue and expand our beautification and branding efforts. New for 2022 is going to be a storefront facade improvement program. We are going to continue to sell remaining EDA property for development. There are two properties in particular that we're looking to sell next year. Those include 4824 56th Avenue North, also known as Bass Lake Road, and then the properties at the northwest corner of 34th and Douglas. So with that, we are asking you to adopt the resolution approving the 2022 EDA budget and HRA tax levy and requesting their approval by the City Council later this evening.
Does anyone have any questions for John? All right, ready for a motion? Nancy?
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion, to approve a resolution adopting the proposed 2022 EDA budget and HRA tax levy.
I have a second.
I'll second.
All right, Commissioner Kaiser. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? All right, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Sorry, it's like, yeah, I'm the one running the meeting, so I had nothing moves until I say something. Olga, all right, sorry. Consider the approval of a contract with the Center for Energy and Environment for the administration of home improvement programs from July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. And John Sutter.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. This is the annual renewal of our contract with Center for Energy and the Environment. They administer the city's home improvement grant. The current contract expires at the end of June 2022, and we always go before you to seek approval 6 months in advance of expiration so that because home improvement projects can go on for months, we don't want people to be sort of left in the lurch, if they've got a project and they're expecting to get a grant for it. So the contract you're being asked to consider tonight would start July 1st of 2022 and then continue through June of 2023. So the program budget for that 12-month period is $292,000. Roughly 90% of that will come from the housing TIF district, which we believe has sufficient funds to sustain this program at that spending rate through the year 2028. And around 10% of the program funding will come from the EDA budget, and that's consistent with the EDA budget that you just approved in the previous item. Of that total $292,000, administrative costs will be roughly 15%. That's actually what we pay Center for Energy and the Environment to administer the program. The remaining 85% of that $292,000 will be paid out as grants to qualifying Crystal homeowners. It's important to note that this contract includes the changes that you approved in September of this year that will take effect January 1st. We are lowering the household income limits. We're also reducing the maximum grant per year and increasing the minimum project size. These three changes were done to bring program expenditures back in line with the available revenue. And on the right, you see a screenshot that's basically from the city newsletter. And in red are the changes or the things that will change beginning January 1st of 2022. So the contract before you tonight continues those new guidelines, those new requirements through the next contract period beginning July 1st. And then these four charts are intended to show why we think this is sustainable going forward through 2028. The upper left, I'll go kind of clockwise, starting in the upper left. It shows in purple the share of the program that is paid out of the Housing TIF District, and in gold from the EDA HRA fund. You can see 2021, we had a surge in use of the program, which is why we are changing the parameters for the program to bring expenditures back down to a kind of a somewhat sustainable level. To the right of that, you see the sources of funds. We have been expending money out of the fund balance through this year, and then we're going to have 4 years where we're not having to do that. And then when the TIF district expires at the end of 2025, we will no longer be getting revenue from that housing TIF district. And so then we will only be able to spend funds out of the fund balance. Below that, you see the uses of funds. As I just said, there will be about a 4-year period where we'll actually have more revenue than anticipated expenditures. That's the green you see. And that is basically money that will be then adding to the fund balance through 2025. And then finally, in the lower left, that's the fund balance itself, where it's been in the last couple of years and then where it's going over the next 7 years or so. So any questions on these charts?
Not necessarily I guess the charts, but still kind of in line with everything. How is the program, I guess it's very popular, correct? So with some of the changes that we've made already, how has that affected anything? Or is there any feedback or?
We've really promoted it, that there are changes, not just the program, but along with that there are going to be changes, and we really haven't. I've had one conversation with someone who asked why, and as soon as I explained it, basically we were spending money faster than it was coming in, they understood that and they didn't seem to have a problem with that. So I've only had that one inquiry. I think everybody kind of understands that the programs get adjusted to bring them in line with the funds you have. But we still have, you know, the real test may be in January or February when people who haven't been following the program submit, and they remember from 2-3 years ago what they thought they were going to get from the program, or that they thought they might qualify income-wise, find out that they don't, and we may hear more negative feedback at that time. I guess the shorter answer is it's too early to tell.
Got it. Any other questions?
So this sort of gets, I think, to the overall question of how popular is the program. We don't have a full 2021 year yet, so just looking back at the most recent full year, 2020, we had 92 grants. The average grant was just under $2,600. The average project was just under $13,000. We paid out a total of $238,000 in grants and about $39,000 in admin to Center for Energy and the Environment. On the right, you see the map with the red dots. Those are all the properties, the owner-occupied houses in Crystal that used the program in 2020. So with that, we would ask that you approve the contract with Center for Energy and the Environment for administration of the home improvement grant for July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
Mr. President?
Yes.
So just a quick note to the commission that because technically remote participation wasn't set up for our absent council member, sorry, Commissioner Parsons, but you shouldn't be voting on this or this evening's council meeting agenda. So just to keep everyone on the same page here, it's one of those things, a certain notice has to be posted so many days ahead of time and open to the public on the other end and things like that. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that.
Thank you. That's why you're here. Do we need to go back? Do we need to go back and read?
No,
anything?
that's fine.
All righty. Is there any questions?
I can make a motion.
All right.
Like,
Good.
make a motion to approve the contract with the Center for Energy and Environment for administration of the home improvement program from July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
We have a second?
Oh, I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? No? All right, ayes have it. Any next other business?
I have nothing, but I am here if you have questions.
Any updates on properties? I saw lights on as I was coming up to the meeting tonight at Bella's. It looks like they're doing some work, or things are progressing.
Yes, Bella's shop at the southwest corner of 36th and Douglas, the former Aquatropic space. I did just talk to them, I think it was late last week. And they are hoping to open in about a month. Again, it's just purely supply chain issues. They can't get the fixtures, they can't get the equipment, everything's backed up. But they are fully intending to open. They are, it's just being delayed. So according to Yami, the owner of the business, he fully intends to open around a month from now.
Nice.
So, and we continue to get inquiries about the former Pizza Hut at the opposite corner of 36th and Douglas. Also the Burger King, vacant Burger King, that is finally on the market. The owner and the out-of-state owner and the different state, out-of-state tenant resolved whatever their lease issues were, and now the owner has the property available for sale. We've had several inquiries about that. We have sort of made various food businesses aware of that site, and it just, commercial real estate just takes more time than residential. That's the bottom line. It doesn't move as fast. So we continue to respond to inquiries. We continue to suggest those sites to places and businesses that might be a good fit. And we'll just continue to do that until something happens on those two sites.
Thank you.
Commissioner Parsons, do you have your hand raised?
I don't think so, no.
Saw a hand on the screen.
Well, it was the,
Sorry that,
That was the cursor, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, all right.
See, there it is again.
it's kind of scary. It's like in school, you know.
Mr. Vice President, should I give an update on the Crystal Vision Clinic, since we have a little bit of time and the public might be curious about that?
No, please.
So they were considering doing winter construction and starting this fall, but based on a variety of factors, winter obviously being number one, they are going to wait until, we believe they're going to wait until next spring to start construction on the Crystal Vision Clinic. They are building just north of Crystal Medical. Their new address will be 5730 Bottineau Boulevard when they construct that new building. So it's on the vacant lot just north of the existing Crystal Medical Center. So look for that coming up in 2022.
All right, does anybody else have anything? No questions, comments for John? No? Well, all right. I guess we will adjourn. Oh. Yes?
Make a
You
motion.
gotta make a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we are adjourned at 6:51. Well, you can't just close it.
Right.
Right.
See?